Good morning, everyone, and you can see I got my coffee ready here. This is Saturday morning. You'll be seeing this Sunday morning, and I'll tell you what, old man Winter just does not want to give it up. He's really. I gotta get my hood on so my little head don't freeze. And as you can see, I got a lot of work to do in the spring here. I've got my skirtings all screwed up. Oh shit. Man. Look at that. Wind's blowing upwards of 35 mile an hour. And we ended up last night with, it's melting down a little bit already. There. Out there, about 7 inches of snow in the yard. Out here in the driveway, you can see I took my shovel for a walk, just so I could come out here and take a look. In the driveway, you can see it's already melting underneath because the ground is so warm. But yeah, winter just does not want to give it up. I had plans this weekend on moving some machines back and forth, taking some stuff that was done over to storage and bring some machines back that we need to work on, but it looks like that's going to be a bust. Tomorrow is supposed to be warmer, supposed to be up in the 30s anyway. Today's about 20. When I come out, it was about 22. See my bird feeder out there, feeding my little birds. Hey, they got to eat too. Got a big gray squirrel roaming around too. I haven't seen him yet this morning. He may not be out today. He'll be out probably Monday after the snow's down. But yeah, I wanted to show you our great Saturday morning. Like I said, kind of ruins my plans anyway, but hey, we got plenty of stuff to do in the garage here. Got to get some stuff moved around. I've got way too much in here. I can't get anything else in to work on. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, so we ended up with about 7 inches of snow. It probably was about 8 inches. The ground's warm enough, it probably melted a little bit underneath, and so we ended up probably with about 8 inches of snow on cold surfaces. But I had a video all ready for you this morning, but I needed to do this one now before I get too pissed off and say some stuff that I shouldn't. You notice I don't get real personal in these videos. I don't give you my day-to-day life and that. I kind of stick to what we're working on and that. But this is something that I've been kind of telling you about, was the arcade. But the update on the arcade. We were supposed to close February 22nd, and the title company kind of drug its feet. The one attorney we were using didn't seem like he wanted to do it, so we went through another attorney to do the title search, and all that, make sure there's no liens or anything like that on the property. Well, the title come back, there's no liens, but there's restrictions. Previous owners that own the store across from this building owned this building at one time. You know, this was the original restaurant and that we are looking at. Well, when they built the new building across the street, they put restrictions on this property when they sold it, that you cannot sell intoxicating beverages, no outside toilets, no ice cream, and no fast food. Now, this is what pisses me off, is how the hell can somebody that previously owned a piece of property and building dictate as to what you can or cannot do inside your property that you are buying? And anyway, okay, it came back with these restrictions. Okay, this was in 1998 when these restrictions were put on this property. Well, the intoxicating beverages in the outside toilets was put on in 1957. So in 98, when they sold this property, they put these restrictions on it. Now, they have nothing to do with this property, and plus they sold the business across the street. But they still own the restrictions on this piece of property. Well, I figured, okay, 1998, we'll have the attorney contact the previous owners and ask them if they would lift the restrictions. So in the meantime, you know, we're waiting. It's a week, it's another week. We keep signing extensions for to close on this piece of property, and it just keeps going week to week to week, you know, and we have to keep doing this. And then the attorney called the previous owners and they never got back to her, so that was kind of an indication where I know where this is going. So she sent them a registered letter, and the next day after they received the registered letter, they left a voicemail on the attorney's phone. Probably did this at night because they didn't want to confront and talk to the attorney. And they said, no, we're not removing the restrictions. So needless to say, with the restrictions in place on this building, there's no way in hell that an arcade alone could make enough money to make the mortgage payments and all that on this piece of property. We have to be able to sell the kids, you know, hot dogs and pizza and, you know, and whatever we want to in there to, you know, to keep the kids there and keep them to come up, you know, because other business would be pizza. People would just order pizza and we would be selling pizza. If you don't know, we've owned a pizza shop once before. It was just in a crappy area, and it just, you know, the people, it wasn't the right place for it. But anyway, so we know all about pizza. We can make pizza. You know, we made really good pizza. We had about the best pizza in town where we were. But that's beside the point anyway. That's getting into probably a little too much than you want to know. So we have to be able to sell the food. And whoever advised them to put fast food as a restriction knew what the hell they were doing. Because if you look up fast food is any food prepared that can be taken out or sat down and ate. That's fast food. You know, even though people call and order in a pizza, and you have to make the pizza to order for them, that's still considered fast food. And we're talking even, you know, potato chips, pop, bags of potato chips, pop, pretzels that are hanging in a warmer, or nachos. That's considered fast food. But if you look up pizza, is pizza considered fast food? If you look this up on Bing, it tells you no, pizza is not considered fast food as of 2006. But if you look up the definition of fast food, they tell you pizza is fast food. So if we were to do this and open it up and even just sell pizza, a judge could go either way. It could go 50-50. Now, do you want to spend all the money and put all the equipment in, get the building ready and all that, open up for a little while and then get shut down and not be able to sell the pizza, and you're out all this money that you just put into this building? You know, I don't know about you, but no, I don't want to do that. That's a lot of money for equipment and that. And then we'd be back down to just having the arcade. And yes, the kids would come up and play at the arcade, but it would not make enough to pay the mortgage, which really sucks, you know. And I wanted to do this video now because the more I think about it, the more I get pissed that a previous owner can dictate what you can do with a piece of property that you buy, that they used to own. This is our great state here that lets people do that. So we'll just say, for instance, my property here. If I wanted to sell my property, and I could put restrictions on it that said no one could live here ever. Okay. So now if somebody wanted to buy it, you know, for starters, you're not going to sell it. But if somebody bought it for another reason and then decided they wanted to sell it, whoever bought this property could never live here because I have that restriction on a piece of property that I used to own. And these restrictions on property last forever. Forever and ever and ever. No, the only way you could get them off of a piece of property is with an addendum to the deed. And previous owners could be, you know, 30 people down the line that had these restrictions. If they don't want to remove them, you're just shit out of luck. Excuse. The more I think about this and more I talk about it, the more I get pissed about this, that people actually can dictate to you what you can and can't do on a piece of property that they owned, you know, 25 years ago. Really nice. So needless to say, now I got to start all over again looking for someplace, looking for a building. And around the lake here there is just absolutely nothing to be had. I mean, there's a couple pieces of property, but you know, buying property, you're gonna have a lot more into a piece of property than you are a building that already has the utilities. I mean, you know, we're looking at with a piece of property, we're looking at building a building, you know, all the cement work, the building, and a well, and a tap fee for the sewer, electric being put in. You know, everything over that was already all done in this building, and it was just ready, needed renovated, and you know, a lot of work, but willing to do the work, but not, you know, if we start from scratch, that's just way too much money that has to go out. Not going to mention any names or the name of the business that's across the street. People that are from this area that watch this video know what building I was looking at and what the business is across the street, the name of it. Anyway, they sell ice cream and they have pizza, but some people call it disc pizza, I guess. New term to me, but that's like frozen pizza. You know, you have your shell, or you just get it in already made, you throw it in the oven and sell it that way, and that's you might as well go to the grocery store and buy a pizza and throw it in your oven. And even that would be considered fast food because it's ready to eat. All you have to do is heat it up. Ice cream, I had no intention of selling ice cream because of the equipment is a lot, you know, the equipment is expensive for starters, and that would just be something that I wouldn't want to get into. I like cooked food, you know, and the realtor contacted the people that owned the business across the street and told them, you know, what we wanted to do, because she was kind of trying to find out if they knew about the restrictions. And evidently, no, they didn't. They didn't know about the restrictions that were put on that property across the street, because that business had changed hands about 3 times. And that kind of gets lost in the wash when you're buying a business until you have the title searched, which we had to on this one. But anyway, he said no, he wouldn't want that over there. So what happens then is probably just kind of theorizing here that the previous owners of the building, if you can follow along with me, the previous owners of the building that I'm looking at called the present owners across the street of this building, of this business, and asked them if it would be okay. And they said no, so these people told the attorney, no, we're not removing the restrictions. Now, the ice cream and intoxicating beverages and the outside toilets, you know, I would be okay with it. But I'm still, it still pisses me off that somebody can tell you what you can do on your own property that you buy. And that they put restrictions on, that previous owners can put restrictions on property, and it can stay there for forever and never be removed by anybody except for previous owners of the property. And when these people die, the restrictions are inherited to whoever is family. You know, whoever gets the estate, you know, then those restrictions go to them. Really nice. So now we're back to square one, trying to find a piece of property or find a building, and there's just nothing around the lake here, so I don't know what's going to happen. We got to sit down and talk. Yesterday, which is Friday, is when I found out that they weren't going to remove the restrictions. So now we got to sit down today and try and figure out what the hell is next for this. And I don't know. If there's nothing around here, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Probably just start selling my machines off and buy and sell. I mean, it's really nice that people don't want a business, or, you know, can't take the competition. And as far as competition goes, up the road is another place that they're going to be putting in a pizza shop up there, which the realtor talked to them, and they said, no, we're fine with it. You know, competition's great. That just kind of tells you and shows you how good you really are. And if you have good pizza, then everybody's going to go there. If we have better pizza, everybody's going to come to us. If everybody wants frozen disc pizza, they can go across the street. You know, competition. And the lake, we need more businesses and things for people to do. We need to draw in more people here at the lake, especially young people. And I felt with the arcade and, you know, and all that, I could start drawing in some more people, you know, some younger people to come to the lake, and everybody would benefit. But, you know, you have people that just think about themselves and don't give a rat's ass about anybody else. As long as they're getting theirs, they're okay. Even though it could benefit them, because the arcade with the kids and pizza and all that, people would come in and play and, you know, eat pizza, hot dogs, whatever, and then walk across the street and get ice cream. But, you know, people don't look. They can't look past their nose at stuff. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit of a visionary. I don't know. Either that or I'm just dumber than shit. I don't know. But I've been kind of missing some days on my videos because I've been doing a lot of getting some stuff done. With me closing my store, that's kind of been tying me up. I've been packing and all that. I have to close the store in town because we're spending our own money to keep it open. It just with regulations and COVID about killed us, you know. So it's just one of those things that, you know, it was a good run. That was 10 years that we were in that place, and we had some really good times in there. You know, it was a good business until government stepped in, started killing us, and then COVID and getting shut down, and people just not coming back, people doing more ordering online and what have you. It is what it is. We'll move on. And that's why I wanted to just kind of move right in. I was going to take 1 month, which would be April, and get the building all straightened up and ready to go and be ready to be open on Memorial Day for the campers. But now it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So now I'm just going to do my outdoor market probably this summer and start looking around and seeing what we can come up with. Maybe we can find something else, which I doubt, because that's about the only building out here, and this is where we want to be because of the, you know, tourists and campers. But you know, I guess that's life. You never win some and you lose all. So I hope you enjoyed this video, my little rant and pissing and moaning. And we'll get back to working on some machines. I have some other videos coming up that I'm starting to work on some stuff for the outdoor market, kind of electronics, and that kind of doesn't really go with retro gaming, but you know, it goes with my outdoor market end that I post my auctions and all that during the summer. So hope you enjoy those too, and until next time, maybe I'll piss and moan some more about something else. See ya.